The clock is ticking. An election night attack? The world holds its breath. Tensions between Iran and Israel have reached a fever pitch. Whispers of war echo through the corridors of power. Sources suggest that Iran, in a calculated act of aggression, may be planning a major attack on Israel. What makes this situation even more precarious is the timing. The United States, Israel's most powerful ally, is in the throes of a bitterly contested presidential election. The world watches, captivated and terrified, as the possibility of a regional conflict explodes onto the global stage. Experts believe that Iran may see this election as an opportunity, a moment of distraction when the world's attention is elsewhere, a chance to strike a blow against Israel while its most powerful ally is preoccupied. The coming hours are critical. The world waits, prays, and hopes that cooler heads will prevail. But in the volatile cauldron of the Middle East, hope can be a fragile thing. Iran possesses a formidable arsenal, a mix of domestically produced weapons and those acquired from allies. Should Tehran decide to strike, Israel would face a multi-pronged assault, a deadly combination of technology and terror. The Khorramshahr-four ballistic missile, with its range exceeding 1,200 miles, could reach the heart of Israel. These missiles, while not pinpoint accurate, carry massive payloads capable of causing widespread destruction. Adding to the threat are Iran's swarms of unmanned aerial vehicles, drones of various sizes and capabilities. These could be used to overwhelm Israeli air defenses, target strategic infrastructure, or even carry out kamikaze-style attacks. Adding to the uncertainty is the possibility of Iran using its tactical bombers, aging but still capable aircraft, to deliver heavier payloads. While risky, such a move could inflict significant damage on Israeli military installations. Iran's reach extends beyond its borders, encompassing a network of militias and proxy groups deeply embedded in the region. These groups, armed and trained by Iran, represent a significant threat to Israel's security. Hezbollah, based in Lebanon, boasts an arsenal of over 100,000 rockets and missiles, many capable of striking deep inside Israel. This well-trained and battle-hardened militia could open up a second front, raining down rockets on Israeli cities and military positions. In Syria, Iranian-backed militias operate with relative impunity, posing a constant threat from the north. These groups, often composed of foreign fighters loyal to Tehran, could launch attacks on Israeli targets, further escalating the conflict. Adding to the volatile mix are Palestinian militant groups in Gaza and the West Bank. While their capabilities are more limited, their attacks could spark a wider conflagration, drawing Israel into a multi-front war. The timing of Iran's potential attack, coinciding with the U.S. presidential election, has raised eyebrows and fueled speculation among analysts worldwide. Why would Tehran choose this particular moment to escalate tensions with Israel? Some experts believe that Iran sees the U.S. election as a window of opportunity, a time when American leadership is distracted and potentially weakened. With the world's attention focused on the vote count, Iran may believe it can act with a degree of impunity. Furthermore, the current political climate in the United States, marked by deep divisions and partisan gridlock, may embolden Iran. Tehran may be calculating that a divided America will be unable or unwilling to respond forcefully to an attack on Israel. The potential for miscalculation is high. Iran's leaders may be overestimating the U.S.'s tolerance for aggression or underestimating the resolve of its new president. A miscalculation could have catastrophic consequences, plunging the region into a wider war. Section 5. Israel prepares, Iron Dome on high alert, retaliation promised. Facing the looming threat of an Iranian attack, Israel has put its military on high alert, deploying its formidable defenses and preparing for a swift and devastating response. The Iron Dome missile defense system, battle-tested and highly effective, stands ready to intercept incoming rockets and missiles. However, the sheer volume of fire that Iran and its proxies could unleash poses a significant challenge, potentially overwhelming even the most sophisticated defenses. Israel has also made it clear that any attack will be met with overwhelming force. Retaliatory strikes against Iranian military installations, nuclear facilities, and command and control centers are all on the table. The Israeli Air Force, one of the most advanced in the world, is prepared to carry out deep strikes inside Iran, targeting key infrastructure and military assets. the use of cyber warfare and special forces operations cannot be ruled out. Section 6. Tehran's silence. A nation holds its breath, awaiting orders. In the heart of Iran, a palpable tension hangs in the air. The streets are abuzz with rumors of war, with citizens bracing themselves for the unknown. The government, meanwhile, maintains a calculated silence, its true intentions shrouded in secrecy. State-controlled media outlets, known for their fiery rhetoric, have toned down their anti-Israel pronouncements, fueling speculation that a major operation is underway. The regime, experts believe, is carefully controlling the flow of information, preparing its people for what may lie ahead. The Iranian people, caught between a history of conflict and the promise of a brighter future, can only wait and watch. Their fate, for now, rests in the hands of their leaders, men who hold the power to unleash chaos or choose the path of peace. Section 7. The world reacts. Condemnation, fear, and the urgency of diplomacy. News of Iran's potential attack has sent shockwaves through the international community, sparking widespread condemnation and fears of a wider regional conflict. World leaders are scrambling to defuse the situation, urging restraint and calling for a diplomatic solution. The United Nations Security Council has been convened for an emergency session, with member states debating a possible resolution condemning Iran's actions and demanding a de-escalation of tensions. However, the deep divisions within the Council, particularly between the United States and Russia, make a unified response unlikely. European powers, caught between their commitment to Israel's security and their desire to salvage the Iran nuclear deal, are desperately trying to find a diplomatic path forward. French President Emmanuel Macron has called for direct talks between Iran and the United States, urging both sides to step back from the brink. Section 8. The shadow of Syria. A proxy war ignites, drawing in regional powers. The potential for an Iranian attack on Israel extends far beyond a bilateral conflict. It threatens to ignite a regional powder keg, drawing in neighboring countries and escalating the ongoing proxy war in Syria. Russia, a key ally of both Iran and Syria, finds itself in a delicate position. While Moscow has condemned any potential attack on Israel, it remains committed to supporting its partners in Damascus and Tehran. A wider conflict could force Russia to choose sides, potentially leading to a direct confrontation with the United States. Turkey, a NATO member with its own regional ambitions, is also closely watching the situation unfold. Ankara has condemned Iran's actions but remains wary of a potential influx of refugees from Syria should the conflict escalate. Turkey's involvement, whether direct or indirect, could further complicate an already volatile situation. Section 9. The U.S. factor a divided nation watches as the Middle East burns. The timing of Iran's potential attack, coinciding with the U.S. presidential election, has thrust the Middle East conflict into the heart of American politics. A deeply divided nation grappling with internal challenges and weary of foreign entanglements now faces the prospect of another war in a region already scarred by decades of conflict. The outgoing president, facing accusations of weakness and indecision, must weigh the potential consequences of military action against the risk of appearing weak on the world stage. A wrong move could have disastrous consequences, both domestically and internationally. The newly elected president, inheriting a volatile situation and facing immense pressure from both sides of the aisle, will be forced to make difficult decisions early in their term. The path forward is fraught with peril, requiring a delicate balance of diplomacy, military strength, and a clear understanding of America's role in the world. Section 10. Beyond retaliation, the long-term consequences of an Iranian strike. An Iranian attack on Israel, even if repelled successfully, would have far-reaching consequences, extending beyond the immediate casualties and destruction. The geopolitical landscape of the Middle East, already volatile and unpredictable, would be irrevocably altered. The already fragile peace process between Israel and the Palestinians would be dealt a fatal blow, extinguishing any remaining hope for a two-state solution. The conflict, fueled by extremism and resentment, could spiral into a perpetual cycle of violence, further destabilizing the region. The global economy, already reeling from the effects of the COVID-19 pandemic, would face a new crisis. Soaring oil prices, disrupted supply chains, and a loss of confidence in the markets would send shockwaves through the global financial system. Section 11. A world on edge. The fragile peace hangs by a thread. As the world watches and waits, the possibility of an Iranian attack on Israel hangs like a sword of Damocles over the Middle East. The stakes could not be higher. The consequences of miscalculation are too grave to contemplate. The coming hours, even minutes, will be critical. The world holds its breath, hoping against hope that diplomacy will prevail, that cooler heads will prevail. But in a region riven by conflict and fueled by ancient hatreds, the path to peace is often paved with the best of intentions and the worst of outcomes. The world watches, prays, and waits. The fate of the Middle East and perhaps the world